Hello, I'm Dexter, the God of the English, and you're watching Autistic Rambles, Episode 2. Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay.
Who lives in a rundown house inside Britain?
The God of the English.
And what is the name of the show that he runs?
Autistic
Ramble. He loves mortal trains just like any autistic
The
kid.
God of the English.
The most unscripted show on the web.
Autistic Rambles.
Ready?
Autistic Rambles. Autistic Rambles. Autistic Rambles. Autistic Rambles. So, I recently had a very interesting shower. I thought of something interesting. I know it's surprising, the autistic gamer kid having a shower. It's scary, I know. But I had the thought about SpongeBob. I'm doing one of these unscripted videos again, you know, like last time. If you're looking at this and thinking that it seems unfamiliar and you're asking, Dexter, is this that awesome new house that your dad's getting that you've been going on and on about since your parents' divorce, I'm saying no, the housing market isn't saying that that's going to happen until June, so keep waiting. Though I am going to be absolutely building a secret theatre room when that happens. Though, I have thought of something about SpongeBob. So, we all know that the show is in 2D, right? But then, after the second movie, the movies randomly switched to 3D. And after the third movie, there was a spin-off show. There was a spin-off show where everyone's kids, so of course, you gotta have that, you gotta have the 3D reboot / whatever, where the characters are kids sometimes. I mean, they just kind of like, it was weird. I watched like one episode when I was at my grandma's house. It was weird. I never really got it. Though I realised, so this is how my theory of how the 3D SpongeBob things and the 2D show take place in separate parallel universes, and Keanu Reeves is the key to destroying the 3D universe. I'm sorry, you may have just caught me reading a, Atlas of the Invictus. What the hell kind of 1984-ass cover is this? Either way, so, in the second SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, there is a scene at the end which was marketed throughout the entire thing, but it only lasts like 20 minutes, where the characters get shot onto land and become 3D, even though that didn't happen in the first movie when they went on land in the first one. Though, the first one, the first one is like, I remember one time I was invited to like a New Year's Eve party, and because I was an introvert, even though I didn't know I was autistic yet, but I just called myself an introvert, so I just hid in the safe room watching the SpongeBob movie. So now every time I think of the SpongeBob movie, I think of New Year's Eve, or vice versa. Every time I think of New Year's Eve, I think of the SpongeBob movie. Basically, back on topic, that after the second movie, where they went on land and turned 3D, the studio weirdly switched fully to 3D movies. It started with Sponge on the Run, I think, yeah, that one. Where the first piece of evidence happens. So where the very first piece of evidence happens. So, SpongeBob and Patrick are just like about to be publicly executed because that's a thing that happens in the movie. I actually can't remember why. Like they tried to steal, like the king of the ocean, like Poseidon or whatever. No, there are like 3 different kings in the SpongeBob universe. There's I think Poseidon is the one from the show. Then in the first movie, there's King Neptune. I mean, I can't remember who the one in the third in the third one is. Who's the one in the third one? But either way, the king from the third one like steals Gary, and then of course SpongeBob and Patrick go on a quest to take Gary back, and then of course things happen, and then they're about to get publicly executed. But then SpongeBob's friends just barge into the like execution hall or whatever. There's like this whole scene before it where it's like just a straight up casino, and like SpongeBob and Patrick just get really drunk and stuff. Like, usually they would at least have some kind of euphemism of it or something, like in the first movie with the ice cream parlor scene. But like in this movie, they're just straight up like, nah, they're just drunk and hangover. But of course SpongeBob friends barge in, and they're like, you best unhand SpongeBob or we're gonna break out into a musical number, and it doesn't matter what the king does because they're going to break into a musical number whatever happens. And then of course each friend steps up and talks about how they met SpongeBob. It's a backdoor pilot to Camp Coral, the 3D animated spin-off I talked about earlier. But here's the interesting bit. It's when Sandy comes up and talks about her meeting with SpongeBob when they met at Camp Coral.
Ladies and gentlemen, SpongeBob has always been there for me, even going all the way back to summer camp. In fact, that's where we all met.
Now, if you have watched like some of the earlier episodes of the show, you might realise that there's something different about this, because the fourth episode of the show is about SpongeBob meeting Sandy for the first time, for the very first time. So, something's different here. Something is different. And I'm thinking, so what's this about? Did the writers of the third movie not really check up on the actual show and just desperately wanted to make things make sense for Camp Coral? Or is something else happening? And I think there is something else happening. I believe that the 3D SpongeBob movies take place in a different universe than the show. Not a completely different universe, but an alternate one, and I'll tell you why. In the recently released in the recently released Plankton movie, which I actually thought was pretty good. I watched it at Center Parcs one time, expecting it to be awful, but then I was like, okay, that's actually pretty good, cause they actually got the voice actor for Plankton to direct the movie. I think that's really cool. The songs are awesome. But in that movie, there is a reference to the first one with the chum bucket hats, and so that makes me think, obviously the events of it, because it's not just like some random throwaway reference. Plankton obviously recognizes the helmet and remembers what the plot of the also look at this cool camera that I got. It's like it like moves around. He actively remembers the first movie. So I'm thinking, what if this took place in a alternate universe, not only where everything's in 3D, but where the king from the third one takes the place of the king of King Neptune from the first one. I just came up with that king theory, like on the spot right now. I would usually like plan ahead with the stuff. I know you're probably confused about the board. I'll get to that later, but I remember this like. This whole set is at like my new school that I'm going to. I remember one of the teachers who's like working with me walked in right as we put that up on the board, had no recollection, had no idea what we're doing. Wonderful. So I think I should get to the part of how does this tie in to Keanu Reeves? And that's the plot twist of this episode. It doesn't. He is completely separated from the alternate universe theory. He is from another theory. So, in the 2024 or 2023 or 2025 or 2024 or 2023 Super Bowl, it was like a collaboration with Nickelodeon. So, oh my lord, I know. Okay, cut, and then it will cut back again. As I was saying, it was a collaboration with the Super Bowl, so like Nickelodeon characters were there, along with Paramount characters. But then there is a scene where they point out some other characters from Paramount.
With 2 minutes remaining. And there's everyone's favorite hedgehog, Sonic and his pals Tails and Knuckles. That's off to Knuckles, by the way. Similar to Larry, got the memo and wore red today.
So, as we know sorry, I lost my train of thought. As we know, so the Sonic characters, specifically from the Sonic movies, are in this universe, are in the 3D SpongeBob universe. You gotta trust me with this one. They are. I promise you they are. I mean, like, according to that, apparently, like, anyway, as I was saying, because so. As we all know, the Sonic movies are in the same universe as the 3D SpongeBob movies. We also know that the Sonic movies aren't in the exact same universe as the Detective Pikachu movie. The Sonic movies aren't in the exact same universe as the Detective Pikachu movies, but that movie is mentioned in Sonic 3, and I think that joke ruins the entirety of Sonic 3. I'll play the clip right here.
Time.
What is this den of madness?
Are you Detective Pikachu?
He does look like a Pokemon!
That joke, or what you could even call of it, oh my god, I could go on a 30-minute rant about how much I hate that joke. It is such a, like, Paramount couldn't have even, like, tried to stop themselves from promoting one of their other movies, but they just had to. It's like, oh my god, I need to, like, actually get back on track. So Sonic movies are in the same universe as 3D SpongeBob. Okay, so now that we know that, why is that so important? It's because of Moist Critical here. So basically, in the third SpongeBob movie, we meet a character called Sage.
Hey, I'm in the bathtub right now. If you're seeing this, then this means I forgot to record footage for the scene for many reasons. You're just gonna have to, like, take my word for it. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna get cancelled soon. Yeah. Probably gonna get cancelled for not putting that footage in. Anyways, back to like Dexter from like 2 weeks ago.
He is a tumbleweed with Keanu Reeves' face in it. Why would I say that? Keanu Reeves' face in it. But then, he's not outright said to be Keanu Reeves, but like, I do find, but it's kind of spelled out for us that it is Keanu Reeves well, no it isn't, but I like to think that it is Keanu Reeves in that tumbleweed, not even just Sage, it's just Keanu Reeves. But, I mean, like, it is the same, like,
It's not a message. Yeah, you got me.
Okay, why would you put a message up then? Put the message up. Anyway, I've lost my complete train of thought now. What was I on about? It was like something to do with Keanu Reeves. Yes, because it is the exact same scene where, in his own words, cowboy zombie pirate ghosts just are in like a tavern. I think it's pretty good makeup, but then of course SpongeBob and Patrick walk in, and of course who else but Snoop Dogg turns around, not in zombie makeup, just him. He's just there in that tavern. He starts singing some song about whatever, I don't even know. I don't know why he's here though, like really. Of course, then some guy shows up, El Diablo or whatever. I think he's played by Machete from Spy Kids, I think. Yeah, he is. Yeah, but like, no, is he? He might be. I'm not sure. I'm gonna, yeah. Editing me will probably tell me if I'm right or not. But yeah, but that scene's just kind of, it's obviously very important to the movie, and everything in the scene is so plot relevant. No, it isn't. It's just there to introduce a coin and Keanu Reeves. Anyway, so despite Sonic 3 also being a cinematic masterpiece, except that one joke, I think that Sonic 3 is a cinematic masterpiece. But then, of course, we all know Keanu Reeves plays Shadow in the movie. So I'm thinking, why does this, like, look, and go up and down? Well, it's not, it's just like, it's basically, what does this have to do with Keanu Reeves destroying the SpongeBob universe? In that exact, no, not in the Super Bowl. No, the Super Bowl's just there to show that Sonic and SpongeBob are in the same universe. It's basically, in the very first Sonic movie, this happens, and then I play a clip of Sonic outright saying Keanu Reeves' name. So obviously, this has some problems, because, well, no, not problems, it's more like, I'm gonna sit down now, it's not really problems, it's more like, just like, mysteries, because of, like, what's another Paramount movie that came out? Was Minecraft movie a Paramount movie? Fun fact about the Minecraft movie, when I saw it with my parents on opening night, not only was it not as crazy as what I saw theatres had it, and like, sure, people cheered when Jack Black said the funny thing, but it wasn't like the nuking the theatre that you saw on TikTok the week after. But here's a fun fact about it. When I dragged my parents to see it, when me, my brother, my mum and my dad saw it, my mum and dad thought it was so bad that the day after we saw it, my mum and dad told me and my brother that they were getting divorced. That is one of my favourite facts. I know it wasn't because of a Minecraft movie, but I do really like to think that it was just because that they just straight up, that they would like, that movie was just really bad. We're just going to straight up tell them now. I obviously didn't find it sad, but they were getting divorced. I found it hilarious. I was like, they were really trying to have a serious talk with me, but I was like, no, why would I? Still, why would I? Still, I was on the. No, it was like, okay, so. We know that Keanu Reeves exists in the Sonic universe, who also exists in the Sonic universe as Shadow, and Shadow technically exists in the Super Bowl universe because Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles exist in the Super Bowl universe, and we know that they exist in the 3D SpongeBob universe because the SpongeBob and Patrick and other characters who are in the Super Bowl were the 3D versions from the movie, and we know that in the 3D SpongeBob universe, Sage appears, who is basically just no, I was going to say Nicolas Cage. Why would I? No. What was his name again? What? Keanu Reeves. Who is Keanu Reeves in a tumbleweed? I am reaching my autism breaking point. We got to get this over quickly. Yeah. So basically, he's not actively destroying the SpongeBob universe. He's just making it difficult to explain. Anyways, that was my autistic rambles part 2, and for my new outro thing, whenever I do one of these, if you're upset with anything I said in this video, make sure to tell me down in the comments, and I will always reply with my catchphrase. That's what you get for blaspheming against me, the God of the English. All right, bye now.